Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more settlement survival in our town of Praetoria. We're doing pretty well for ourselves, I think. We're 3 years in, we've got most of our bare necessities met, but what we don't have is a lot of people to work all of the jobs that I'm currently establishing. Which is a very small problem. I'm hoping that's going to get alleviated soon, though. We have some students who are due for graduation. Plus, in about a year, some immigrants are going to be arriving, so that could be kind of good. We have more tech points. Oh boy, what do we even do with this? I mean, we could go down things like heating and all the way down to entertainment, reducing everyone's stress by 10%. That's actually not even a bad thing. I just have no use for everything else. Actually, we could try going for the book collection. I have no idea what this does still, but it says we would obtain books, proper rest, wild vegetation, and water sanitation. I guess at the end of the day, going for Research Institute and paper isn't a bad thing regardless. We could just pick this up and see if there's anything we can do that would make our students better, and maybe we get some extra benefits that snowball over time. It's fine, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got 3 books. Where can we use our... what do you mean I have no books in stock? What do you mean I have no books in stock? I was promised the delivery of books, and there are no books! You lied to me. Ugh, alright, fine. Sometimes this happens, alright? If you either don't understand a mechanic or just something like that, turns out, oh look, I just screwed myself and wasted some tech points. Ah well, it's not a very big investment. At the end of the day, these will be good. And maybe once I have enough population from immigration, a research institute will be in the cards. One could certainly hope. Let's not forget, by the way, that in about 5 years, we are going to be getting attacked by some bandits. At the moment, it appears to be just a single solitary spear bandit. One guy with a stabby stick, and he thinks he can hold an entire town hostage. And somehow, I promise you, we're gonna let him, unless we can train up some sort of defenses or an army. One guy with a weapon makes himself king. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Oh, finally, we have a couple more workers. Okay, I would really like to gather up some stone before the cold sets in. Our happiness and our health are starting to drop. That really means I need to get things like the latrine and the cemetery up and a-running. That would give us a small boost. The latrine requires somebody to work and gather up dung, which actually can be quite useful for things like some fertilizer if you don't have any animals. As it is, though, I'd rather go with things like the free options. I just don't have enough stone to do anything, and that kind of poses a small problem. Oh, a third person. Yep, see, I told you everybody was going to start graduating at once. By the way, did the books appear? Oh, the books arrived! Okay, they didn't lie to me. It was just really delayed. Proper rest. The book tells people to rest properly and avoid overworking. It can be used in primary school. Extra chance of gaining abilities? Really? Okay. Requires a book, which I have. Basic consumption? What do you mean you're gonna take away my You're gonna consume paper? How dare you? Why would they do that? It's just a book. I don't need constants. I guess they're transcribing. Maybe it's their homework. Oh, that could be. Wild vegetables and mushrooms. All right. Maximum hunger. Okay, I think that means they just are fuller, technically. And then water sanitation. Well, I mean, the health is pretty hard to argue against. Hunger and thirst really depends kind of on whatever I want, I guess, but... Yeah, okay, well, we don't have paper production, so that's why it is locked behind paper. This makes sense now. I was curious about that. Very interesting. Okay, well, now we know how textbooks work. Gonna start crafting up some clothes, by the way. We do have some alpaca wool, 80. So that's 80 clothes we can look forward to. I think I have some leather as well, so that's about another 35 or so clothes that way. And that's all we got. And that is going to continue to be a major source of concern for me because I am completely at the mercy of large animals walking by. I've seen some bison, I've seen some alpaca, but then we kill them all very, very quickly. Might be worth building a bridge and then maybe hunters can go a little further away and try to find something, maybe, but yeah, we're going to be really, really hurting for clothing for a while. My only option that I can see outside of that is to get very lucky and discover, let's say, some sort of a seed I can use for textiles. Or we're gonna have to trade, and that means I need a lot of silver, like a lot of silver. Seeds are not cheap in this game, not even a little bit. I'm trying to remember how much a seed costs. My memory is saying it costs above 10,000, I think, for a single seed. Might be wrong on that, maybe it's less. I'd like to think it's less. In Banished, it would be less, but in this game, it's, at least last time I played, it was pretty darn pricey. So, yeah, being able to buy cotton would be a little difficult. Still, I think it's my only option, so we may have no choice but to start thinking about how to get a lot of trade goods. Pottery is an option. I wouldn't say it's a very good option, but it is an option. What else we got? Caravans, I don't care about. Overloader. I'm probably not going to be making much use of the caravans. I'm not really sure why I would. Insurance doesn't sound very good to me either. carving workshops, a way of turning wood into stuff. Yeah, selling a lot of wooden statues and carvings could be a good idea. Again, it's not great, but it's something. We also may want to consider getting a quarry at some point. There is not a lot of stone remaining on my side of the river. That said, there should be enough stone down over here that I'll be able to build the bridge, and then I have access to at least a bit more. So I guess we can hold off on that for a little bit. But what I get, though, that's the thing. What even is worth getting that would make a big difference? There's just not much. Whoa, we found a seed! Hang on, what did I find? We found oats. Well, that's not as good as I might have hoped for, but it's something, you know, free seeds are free seeds. Ugh, and a building apparently is in disrepair. There it is, this house right over here. See, and that's why I want to get a repair shop. For that, of course, I need to actually have, like, you know, more lumber and stuff. That'd be nice. Gosh. Yeah, the degradation of buildings has begun! It always starts around mid-year 4. It's fine. We'll be fine. Who's worried? We'll be fine. We are also about to get a big influx of immigrants, which is why I want to get this town hall finished very quickly. Which I don't think will be a problem. We'll get that done in time, though technically if the immigrants arrive, they just wait around for a little bit, so we weren't really in any meaningful amount of danger anyway. I've got 8 students now, by the way. That's a lot of people who are going to be graduating educated and therefore working a little bit more effectively. Looking forward to that. All right, so Town Hall has been built. If we can get up to 50 population, I'll get an administrator for an extra bonus. That is nice. There's also policies. This definitely was not a thing back when I played this game a while ago, so this is new. Water policies. Use raw water, prone to disease, but people can drink the dirty river water, or say no, and therefore we get more value out of thirst. Well then, yeah, why would we not forbid the raw water? I actually don't even see the downside of this. If we wanted to change the policy, it would cost me 50,000 silver. Frickin' frick. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, all right. Wow. Okay. Value science and technology is an option for education policies. Significantly higher chances of people getting special abilities from their textbooks, but they spend a lot more time in school. This will be very valuable in a few years. It is not valuable now. Physical education, not likely to get any abilities. Well, I'm not using any textbooks. So do I want to go ahead and click on this to just boost up stamina? And then in 10 years, I can change this for free? Honestly, I don't know. I kind of feel like there's a good chance in the next 10 years I'll wish I was on this. So I'm going to leave it as it is right now. Under structures, we have firefighting policies. We could fetch water. We could touch the fire, or we could demolish the flaming structure. I guess water's preferable. Food, So you can go for regular harvesting, and what this means is your farmers are going to harvest one patch of crops and then walk it back to the storage and blah, blah, blah. But that's a lot of extra travel time. What's much more effective is to go for things like reap first, so that people will harvest everything off the ground and then just leave it there where it doesn't rot, and then they can just make like a couple big trips and they're done. Or we could start getting some grain straws and bean straws, which is great, I think, if you need fodder. I have no need for that, so we're going to go for reap first. Under others, immigration policy, I'm not going to have automated stuff here. I'd rather just control this and micromanage it for now. We're not at a state where I can just accept any influx of immigrants anytime I want. I'd like to be, but we aren't yet. And there we go. Here come the immigrants. The town is developing well. Aw, thank you! Just because you were so nice, I'm going to let you in. 10 more immigrants, including an injured person. Brilliant. Well, we need to get ourselves some additional housing for sure, because, you know, that's a lot more people that just suddenly appeared. Can't fit any housing over there. Don't really want to fit any more over here. Guess we could start filling this area in. Doesn't really matter where we place these, if I'm being honest. I'm overthinking things. Let's just go ahead and place a couple houses like so. So with this mighty influx of workers, though, we should be able to do a few things. I definitely want to get this bridge up and running. So if you can please get building that, that'd be great. I also need to fell a lot of trees, because we're going to need a ton of lumber, because guess what? We're going to need a ton more domestic fuel. Doctors' concerns, wind, heat, and colds. People are vulnerable to the cold. You're kidding me. Prepare clothing or medicine. I have no way of getting medicine, so I guess I'll stockpile clothing. 200 down jackets. Oh my gosh, really? Did you seriously just give me 200 clothes? Well, that's very nice of you, considering clothing is one of the #1 concerns I have for my city. Yes, that's great. We're going to start thinking about more food production, by the way. I am no longer making it through the winter, thanks to all the extra immigration. An extra hunter will help with that to some degree. We could also try gathering a few plants in some areas. Maybe we get a bit of extra food that away. That could help a little bit, but it's only barely going to tide me over. What I need to do is start thinking about more farms. And what I can do for that is plan a compost plant. Now, a compost plant does increase the productivity of all farms around it by 50%, exactly like the fertile soil works. I do not think it stacks, so placing this over here does me absolutely nothing. But if I were to place something down over here, for example, that could work. I am a little miffed that the gold point is in a bad spot, but I mean, like, okay. Where else could I place down a bunch of farms, though? I mean, not a lot of good places, to be honest. The mountains are, like, perfectly in my way, aren't they? Oh, such is the way of things. Ain't that just the way? Okay, well, you know, I think we just go ahead and accept that we're gonna have to place it somewhere over here, and we'll try to avoid messing with the gold plant. Anyway, I don't actually have to build this right now. I could. But what I really want to do is make sure that I am at least just leaving some room for it so I can then place farms in a big circle around it. Probably something like this would kind of work, right? I think this is fine. I actually don't know how big the open mine structure is. You know, it's funny, we actually can check that, because one nice thing in this game is you actually can see all the different structures and exactly what their size is. So I can actually plan around the size of an open mine. A 7x7, you say? Okay. Can I fit a 7x7 over here? It certainly appears that I can. Perfect! Alright, we're fine. Now, what do we see on the horizon? Bad stuff. A wild beast invasion. Well, I'm not going to have an army in the next year, so I guarantee that the beast is going to come along and cause some problems. We might get lucky. Sometimes the beast spawns in an area, like, let's say, down over here, it walks up, it finds the nearest structure, it destroys it, and then it leaves. Right? Sometimes it's that simple. Not always, though, but sometimes. And as long as no one's working in the building, I think they actually have a good chance of survival. But then sometimes it goes on a rampage. I don't actually know what the deciding factor is for the behavior of the animals. It might be it destroys like a certain like value of buildings and then it leaves, or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, we've officially had at least one person die of hunger. Which, yeah, I mean, I have a complete lack of food right now, which is very disturbing. There's plenty of animals nearby. There's literally turkeys right there. If you're that hungry, why don't you just go over there and just rip it apart? It's a turkey. What's it gonna do? We can't fight back very well, right? I mean, it's just a turkey. I actually don't know. Turkeys might be surprisingly adept at defending themselves. I haven't a clue. I'm a little concerned that we are burning through our food faster than I'm able to harvest it still, though. That isn't necessarily a problem, it just means that all these houses were completely empty, so they're grabbing food quickly, and as long as they have a full stockpile, that means we might still survive the winter, but it does beg the question, are we going to have enough to actually, like, get through the next spring and summer, too? Which, it sure as frickin' heck is looking like the answer be no. So, doubling the population might have been a small error. Could honestly be worth setting up another one of the hunters' huts, just so we would be able to get maybe some more animals. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe that's the case. All right, let's just go ahead and build one here. If I don't need it, I don't need it, and I'll turn it off. But if I do need it, I'd rather have something where I can continue getting some food during the winter. And I don't think that fishing is really going to do the job for me, especially since we need planks, and I currently don't have any planks. So yeah, that's just not going to cut it. 2 additional points are available, though. I mean, we could go for advanced research to boost up our proficiency growth. If you don't remember how that works, basically as we do things, like build houses or do trading or, you know, whatever, farming, etc. We start getting more proficient in something. As you gain stars, you get better at things. But we're not large enough where we're gaining proficiency quickly enough to the point where I think that's going to make a difference. So probably not. Let's go ahead and unlock the quarry, because I'm sure I'm going to want that. We could get the open mine, but I can't construct it without any lamp oil. So that's not going to do me a lot of good either. Maybe we should just go ahead and unlock the barracks. No, I need to have things like cut stone and rope first. I have the ability to get cut stone. I don't have the ability to get rope. For that, I would need to get knitting. I guess I will take knitting, because in 2 years, well, a little bit more than 2 years, but pretty close to 2 years, we're going to get attacked by bandits, and I'd like the ability to marshal an army. I don't think we're going to have any weapons, so I don't think it helps, but I would like to try. Ooh, and now we have people dying of old age. Okay. So this becomes one of the new big concerns for me, is reaching a point where, our population's going to start dying off, and we do have enough kids for replacement, I'm pretty sure. But it means that our... Whoa. These bison just appeared out of freaking nowhere right next to the hunter's hut. That's very convenient. Yeah, the birth rate is large enough to get through it, but it just means that we're going to start plateauing a little bit in our population, which means the ability to grow economically is about to slow down a bit. That's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the barracks. Training citizens cost time and silver coins, you say. I need 40 leather for that, by the way. That is not going to be very consistent. I can't keep making clothes out of leather, so we'll turn that off temporarily. But yeah, getting a barracks is not necessarily in the cards. Still, it would be nice to try to do it. So we'll go ahead and pick that sucker up. We're going to be getting a beast attack right now, actually. There it is. Beasts are intruding. Okay, where be the beastie? Where are you? There's the beastie. It's a tiger! You know, I mean, I look at this climate and I think, yeah, this is absolutely where the freaking tigers belong. 100%. In winter, too. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull my people out of their jobs on the off chance the tiger is satiated by destroying my humble gatherer's hut. Go ahead and destroy it. I don't even like this hut very much. It's not even going to produce a lot of food. So go ahead and break this thing, and then hopefully you're satiated and you leave. That would be ideal. We can also see how much HP, attack, and defense this thing has. I don't know what this means as far as like how difficult this enemy is. Maybe it's easy, maybe it's not. Hey, look, he's satiated! Yay! Okay, there we go. And nobody died to the stupid tiger. So I'm gonna have a total of 7 people working on farming now. I still don't know if this is gonna be enough food, but it sure as heck is gonna be better. I mean, each one of these patches can get me about 500 food right now, so that's pretty good. It's gonna get even better if I can get the compost plants. For that, I just need 1 more free laborer, honestly. Which we could do. And then, if I really wanted to make some investments, and this would be an investment, I could place down some pastures. With the pastures, what I could do is maybe place down some geese, and I won't get any food for this for a while, but eventually I will, and in the meantime, I get dung. With dung, I get more fertilizing, because, you know, spreading bird poop all over your fields, definitely known for being a very effective fertilization method, right? Probably. So yeah, we could set up a nice little farm, like let's say over here or something, you know? Have a whole bunch of geese. I'm not really opposed to the idea, honestly, as long as I can get a couple more workers. Look, it's a longer-term investment, I recognize that, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. All right, Tyler, merchant ships will all be mega merchant ships, which carry more goods. Mega merchant ships? Mega? So they carry more goods, but does that mean I get better trading rates? Well, then it's useless to me now, ain't it? Yeah, I don't know if the mega merchant ships really help me. Gaining a wheat seed, I don't really know that I need this, but I'll take it anyway. I mean, yeah, it can't hurt to have access to wheat, right? You know, I don't have mills yet, but eventually I might, and that could be a really good way of getting some extra food. And right now, people are mostly just eating raw food and stuff like that, so if I were able to get them some proper cooked food in the form of bread, that would actually boost up some happiness as well. So now we're going to have the compost plant up and running. So fertilizer, what this really does is I think it just speeds up the ripeness. I mean, I don't know if that's totally true. It does seem like it speeds things up, but I might be wrong on that. It's supposed to increase the yield overall. The important thing here is what we're going to see now is the farms, yeah, they have a 100% bonus. Now, I think that the affected area of the farm is 100% contained within this. I think that's what it means. That's a 50% bonus, I believe. So either way, I'm hoping we're about to find that we get like 750 tomatoes out of each of these crops instead of only 500. So that's another like 500 food in theory that I just tossed into my economy, which means that surviving winter should be a lot easier. My math was slightly off. About 700 tomatoes this time around over here. Which, I don't know, maybe that's because the fertilizer didn't take effect early enough in the year or something like that. But hey, okay, fine. 400 extra food. Still pretty good. I found a new seed. What did I find? Oh, that's the wheat. Darn it, and here I was hoping for some... Oh, did we lose our animals? Oh, no. I lost my animals. I didn't place down a goose fast enough. So you're telling me that the pasture is worthless then? Right, cancel that. Get all the lumber back. Thank you. I'm not going to say that it is useless. I think we actually could still build it and like just say we want to select a particular animal for it, but... Now it's not worth the investment anymore, to be completely honest. It was one thing when it was a sure-fired thing, but now, no. Admittedly, I shouldn't have expected the goose to be immortal. That would have been ridiculous. And you know something? I'm going to go ahead and unlock the mill. right? So we're going to try placing those pastures at some point soon anyway. But just like with the compost plant, it is worth placing down a mill because the area around it is treated as a grasslands, which boosts up the productivity of a pasture. A water mill actually would also do that. If I were to place this, like, let's say up over here, believe it or not, this could be a very good pasture zone. I kind of like the idea behind that, to be honest. All right, we're going to plan that out. Again, I'm not going to build it right now. We don't even have any rope, but it's good to know that this exists. New livestock acquired. What do we get? We got another goose! All right, this is our attempt at redemption. Let's go ahead and build the pasture. Let's go ahead and assign a herdsman, assign the goose, and boom. Okay. One worker is really all you need in pretty much any pasture. I'm really not sure why they allow for so many here by default. Like, this is just... You really don't need more than one herdsman. I've never seen a case where you need more than one. So this will be fine. It's going to take a while to get up to 17 geese. Fun fact, by the way, these are capable of basically reproducing by budding. You do not need a male and female pair of any animals in order to have them be born. Nope, you just need to have one of them, and they'll just start gradually multiplying all on their own. Though obviously the more you have, the faster they kind of reproduce. So yeah, up to 17 geese. Once we get up to 17, that's when I start the slaughter. That's when I get the goose meat and the feathers. So it's gonna be a while. But that's one person tied up for probably about 2, maybe 3 years, and then this is gonna start paying off with very efficient food for only one person. Now, one thing I would like to do is start working on getting some rope. Some rope would be great just so I'll be able to start getting some extra advanced buildings later on, or I don't remember where we produce things like bows. An iron bow made of iron, tools, and rope to make weapons. Right. Also, military supplies. This increases soldier combat attributes. Does this do anything as far as, like, is this actually weapons? I don't think it is. I think it's a multiplier. You need the iron spears and shields and stuff, too. Basically, the point, though, is I wouldn't mind trying to put together some armies, since we are going to be getting attacked very soon. What would it take for me to get myself a barracks? I'm guessing it is expansive, isn't it? Yes, it will take rope. Well, what do you know? So all the more reason that I really need to get the knitting workshop up and running. There have been plenty of reeds growing around the river shores here, so we could farm it ourselves with some tech points, but I think for now, just harvesting some reeds is not a bad option, and then we'll try making plenty of rope that way. The other thing about getting bows is I assume you need bows to make an arrow tower work, which I don't even know if this is in a good defensive spot. I really don't even know what to expect out of these bandits, if I'm completely honest with you. They could be absolutely brutal, or it could be they come over, they destroy my pasture, and then the guy leaves. I think they want to steal your, like, silver coins. I would pay the guy to just leave me alone so I don't even have to worry about him. I mean, talk about an easy payday. But no, that's just not how it works. He wants to cause mayhem. Jerk. Let's see, we do have some more immigrants on the way soon. Oh, gosh. We're gonna have a hard time dealing with that in winter when I'm already pretty low on food, if I'm honest. But the extra people to work more farms would be quite nice eventually. What kind of staple foods could I expect? Output of a decent amount of oats and stuff? Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's a thing. I don't know. It would be worth growing some wheats and stuff like that at some point soon. Probably. I have to imagine that's true. But either way, we definitely need to start working on getting some more housing. And then almost immediately after that, the bandits are going to invade, so we only have a few months to get this set up. I can try to get myself an arrow tower, but honestly, I've never built one before. It may very well turn out, I'm not buying 200 croissants, that's ridiculous. It may be that it's impossible to man this unless I first have a barracks anyway. That'd be weird, because why would the arrow tower come unlocked in the game if you don't have the barracks? Like, this is unlocked by default. So I actually don't know, but well, I guess we're gonna find out the hard way. Another seed? Ooh, what do we get this time? We got coffee? Of all the things we could have found, it was coffee. Again, there's nothing about this climate makes sense. You got Bengal tigers, and then you got coffee. All right, so, yeah, we can assign someone here. There's a monthly salary associated. 150 attack. I'm assuming that the enemy spearman's gonna have about 5,000 HP or so, because wasn't that what the tiger had? And I have to imagine that a spearman is... maybe they could be weaker than a tiger. The point being, I assume it takes a number of shots. I don't see anything in here that says I need to have a bow and arrow in order to fire this. So when we get attacked, I don't know, maybe we can find a way to make this work. That said, the spearmen might just choose to stay out of range of my arrow tower. That would be the obvious thing to do. I don't know. I still think we're going to take some losses when the bandit comes. I'm just hoping that it's like the tiger. It does a little bit of damage, and then it runs away. What else can we do? What else can we do? We could get ourselves food processing. A vegetable processing plant would turn vegetables, which we have a lot of, into salads, which would be a higher quality food that makes people happier. So I feel like that's not a bad plan. And the bandits are now invading. Okay. So there he is, this one bandit, and by the way, it looks like the bandit camp has almost exactly leveled up to half. I don't know if that means that the next time it attacks, it will be level 2, or if it'll be just shy of level 2. Well, we're gonna find out. All right, so here comes the bandit. I don't really think there's a thing I can do about this. I'm just gonna watch him, kind of see what he does. That is 3 bandits. Okay, so when they say that there's a 1 bandit, they mean 1 bandit squad, each with 250 health. Interesting. Let's try to assign a couple of people to the tower on the off chance they come over here. I sort of doubt it, but like, if they do, I'd like to shoot them. Nope, they're gonna come destroy my pasture. Not my freaking goose! Well, there goes that. All right, so now what? They're gonna come in here? They're crossing the they're walking on water. All right, it's Jesus bandits. I should have known. Now they're gonna destroy my sawmill. Cool, cool. Thanks for that, guys. Thank you. Yep. What are you gonna do now? Now we get to start shooting at you. So let's see how much damage we're actually doing. Not a lot. And that was it. That's all we can do. So now they're gonna steal my silver, which I kind of figured. We're gonna take a few more pot shots at them, I think. And it's not enough to kill them when we're done. Whee! Okay, well, that's just gonna be something that happens periodically, and it's going to hurt a lot. Oh, also, oh god, I thought it was just things got destroyed. 4 of my people were killed. Okay. Well, it's a good thing we got a bunch of immigrants to make up for the fact that we just lost all these people. But yeah, great. No, peachy, just so great. Oh god, yay. Whatever, it's painful, but it's not the end of the world. We will somehow survive. I think what I should have done is just evacuated the sawmill. As long as I don't think anyone's working at the building that gets destroyed, I don't think anyone dies. I might be wrong on that. They may have just killed people as they walked by. It's not like my people were running for cover or anything, right? I mean, it's an armed group that clearly wants to kill all of you, and y'all were just like, you know, they'll probably ignore me. As long as I don't look important, it's gonna be fine. Now, this is how you get killed, but whatever, it's fine. I'm only a little bit upset about it. Just a little bit upset, but it's gonna be okay. And now we're in a dangerous situation where I desperately need people to do what I say and go and get this iron ore before winter comes in earnest, because it is now getting very cold, because I have no fuel remaining. None. Diddly squat. And my people are literally not going to do a dang thing about it. It's just too far away. I hope that at least a few of these houses have enough heat to last throughout the winter, because, yeah, this is a problem. Well, at least a few heroes are going to come over here and try to grab some of this. All right, good enough. That's going to have to be okay. I can't afford to let anyone else come out here. That's enough just to get my houses rebuilt and to fix up the sawmill. Go, go, go. And there we go. Okay, cool. Now we can start getting that domestic fuel. Don't use the dung, by the way. You could use that to make the fuel, but I really need that for fertilizer. Tailors in town have sorted out leftover scraps. Make free clothes or backpacks. I'm gonna have to take the clothes. Sorry, but like 300 rough clothes is great. That means I don't have to worry about making any for at least a good long while. We'll stockpile more of that leather and that alpaca fur. It's not good clothing, mind you. It's only gonna be like a level 1 happiness being met, but that's fine. That's why we have vegetable processing plants. One thing that surprises me is we still haven't had a natural disaster. We're 9 years into the game, and disasters are enabled. If I take a look at settings, yeah, disasters down here are on. So in theory, one could fire off at any moment. And usually it gives you a warning in the timeline, just like everything else, but for whatever reason, I'm seeing nothing. How weird. And by the way, we now have enough geese. Cool. So every extra goose that is born means one of them has to die. So now we're going to start getting some food paying off there. Good lord. This is turning out to be a little bit rougher than I was expecting. Heck, we can't even keep on top of our water, let alone any of our stone and our ore. I really, really need to get a mine up and running. That's what I need. And a quarry. But who can afford to do any of these things right now? Oh, boy. Right. Well, on that note, I think this is a good place for us to end this particular video. So that is what I'm going to do. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series of Settlement Survival. We're hanging in there, but only by a thread. Don't worry, though. I can feel it. Good times are just around the corner, and then everything will be gravy. Be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.